Welcome again, everyone, to another edition of DC Wood Reviews the Arrowverse. I'm your host, Daniel Christopher Wood, and this episode I'm reviewing DC Legends of Tomorrow Season 1. Again, thank you so very much for being so patient, and thank you all to my subscribers for continuing to stay with me on this series. Been busy with work, been busy with artwork, other creative projects, which is why I haven't been doing it as weekly, but this series is weekly as I would have liked to. I am still planning on carrying on with the series. I haven't forgotten about it. Just needed to take a bit of a break and work on other stuff, but I'm here again, and I am going to try and continue doing this series as regularly as I can. Now, Legends of Tomorrow first premiered on the CW network. The pilot was broadcast on 21st of January 2016, and the first season lasted 16 episodes, concluding on the 19th of May that same year. The first season was another success for the CW and the Arrowverse, averaging over 3 million viewers a week. The show was created as a spin-off of both Arrow and The Flash, bringing several supporting characters, heroes and villains from those shows and bringing them together in an epic adventure all of their own. The year is 2166. Immortal, unstoppable tyrant Vandal Savage, Casper Crump, has completely conquered the Earth. Unwilling to allow this apocalyptic future, Captain Rip Hunter, Arthur Darvill, travels back to the 21st century to recruit an elite team of heroes and villains to stop Savage from fulfilling his destiny. The team consists of Dr. Ray Palmer, the Atom, Brandon Routh, Sarah Lance, the White Canary, Katie Lotz, Professor Martin Stein, Victor Garber, and Jefferson Jackson, Franz Drammer, who together form Firestorm. Leonard Snart, Captain Cold, Wentworth Miller, and Mick Rory Heatwave, Dominic Purcell, and finally Carter Hall, Hawkman, Falk Henschel, and Kendra Saunders, Hawkgirl, Sierra Renee. Travelling through time and space on their ship, the Wave Rider, and aided by the sentient AI Gideon, voiced by Amy Pemberton, this team embark on their quest to stop Savage once and for all, and also hoping to be remembered, not as heroes, but as legends. In my original rankings, I'd placed Legends of Tomorrow Season 1 10th overall. This was a happy accident for me. I'd finished performing in The Crucible at my local theatre. It was Saturday night in early February 2016, and I drove over to Tesco's before heading home, and I picked up 2 DVDs that were in the charts. One was Daredevil Season 1, godlike show, and the other was this. Looking at the cover, it appealed to me, so I purchased it, watched it, and I loved it. Soon as I started watching the first episode of this show, the impression I immediately got was Doctor Who meets the Avengers, and naturally that was the hook, line and sinker for me. Premise-wise, Legends of Tomorrow was an instant winner, and like The Flash and Supergirl, this was a marvel in special effects. So many superpowers are on offer here in terms of the Atom, Firestorm, the Hawks, the weapons of Captain Cold and Heatwave, the Wave Rider itself, the set of the time ship. It's all amazing, absolutely exhilarating. It's got the cinematic presentation, the epic action sequences, the fantastic direction, the choreography, Blake Neely's ever impeccable score, and Legends immediately manages to establish its own identity straight away. It's beautiful. As I've said before, the first Arrowverse show I'd ever seen was Supergirl. Legends of Tomorrow was the second, and as someone who hadn't watched Arrow or The Flash in full at this point, I'd only seen various clips of those shows at this point in time. Legends of Tomorrow Season 1 did a brilliant job bringing me up to speed. The 2-part pilot episode, God, it's amazing. It's absolutely brilliant, tremendous fun. So many characters assembled together, and the pilot introduces or reintroduces all of the legends perfectly. If you've watched seasons of Arrow and The Flash prior to this, you'll be pleased to see all these supporting characters together again in their own show, reuniting or meeting each other for the first time. If you're just watching Legends of Tomorrow without knowing of the other Arrowverse shows, it doesn't matter. You'll know who all these guys are and why they're all together, what they've all been through, and you're excited for what lies ahead. The journey itself here is very good. Legends of Tomorrow Season 1 has a big advantage over most other seasons, with having 16 episodes instead of the obligatory 20 plus. The pacing is a lot better than the absolute worst Arrowverse seasons. This doesn't feel like a chore to sit through, and there's brilliant development overall for these characters. Sarah Lance is, of course, reinvented drastically here. No longer is she the dark, brooding, self-loathing canary that she was when we first met her in Arrow Season 2, and here she's now the white canary. Sarah becomes the lighter, stronger, and more fun character she was destined to be. Whilst Sarah has always been a deep, excellent character, and she still has her demons to deal with, the White Canary is such a drastic reinvention for her, and it works. And of course, for Katie Lott's even better days were still to come. She just grows from strength to strength. Brandon Routh is, of course, right at home as the Atom, and Victor Garber and Franz Dremer prove themselves to be the definitive Firestorm pairing. Rip Hunter is a welcome addition to the Arrowverse. I'm a massive Whovian, and I loved Rory Williams during his time on Doctor Who with Matt Smith and Karen Gillan. Arthur uses his Doctor Who experience to drive his charismatic, magnificent performance as the Wave Riders captain. He's morally ambiguous, but he's so deep and well developed throughout, and he proves to be a true leader. Then, of course, there's Dominic Purcell and Wentworth Miller. Both these guys ranked among the best villains in The Flash, and they seemed the most unlikeliest of heroes. But thanks to brilliant writing and Dominic and Wentworth's performances, Mick Rory and Leonard Snart ultimately proved to be just as great heroes as they were villains. Especially Leonard Snart. The way he develops and proves himself as a bona fide legend, all culminating in Snart sacrificing himself to save the team, the universe, and all of time itself from the corruption of the Time Masters. It's a shocking yet heroic end to Captain Cold's story. As well as the pilot, there are some real highlight episodes here, including the brilliant Star City 2046 featuring an old Oliver Queen. There's The Magnificent Eight, a Wild West Fun Fest, which also introduces Jonah Hex to the Arrowverse. And there's a brilliant, fantastic finale, two-part finale in Destiny and Legendary. All the while, there are several great twists, great surprises, and some absolutely brilliant comedy. There's some of the best humour in the Arrowverse, with such fantastic dialogue, really hilarious lines that made me laugh out so much. It's there to balance out the drama. It's ace. There are several laugh-out moments, and all of this results in something being a load of fun. Sadly, there are some significant problems with Legends of Tomorrow's first season. The first major problem is sadly Vandal Savage. Savage is truly one of DC's greatest supervillains. Awesome in the comics, awesome in both the Justice League and Young Justice cartoons. Savage is such a rich character, one of the richest villains ever created, and Casper Crump clearly relishes in being the villain, and he oozes menace and charisma. He has such presence on screen, and on paper, Vandal Savage is the perfect villain for the Legends. The problem, however, is the execution. Savage was so well established in the Arrowverse and introduced, yet his story and development here are so disjointed, it's all over the place. Now, I know the Reverse Flash's story was so convoluted, as was River Song's in Doctor Who, but their stories were tightly written and focused. Vandal Savage's just isn't, and his origins agendas are tied too closely to that of Hawkman and Hawkgirl. Everything is insistent on revolving around these three players, and it just bogs things down. Speaking of the Hawks, their presence in Legends of Tomorrow was another of the Arrowverse's missed opportunities. Both Hawkman and Hawkgirl are among the richest characters in comics and other media, yet they both seem like they don't belong here. Carter Hall gets killed off in the second episode before reincarnating in time for the finale, and while Kendra Saunders gets much better character development out of the two of them, she's still one of the two weakest characters here. And when all's said and done, and both Hawkman and Hawkgirl leave the Legends after Savage is finally defeated, I didn't go, hooray, don't come back, or please don't go. I just felt, yeah, see ya, completely indifferent to their departure. And I think Carter summed it up perfectly with the line, I don't give a damn about being a legend as long as we end Savage once and for all. It's all just a waste, and that's really sad. As is the love triangle between Ray, Kendra and Carter. That was a waste of time. Enough said. And as numerous great episodes that there are for this first season, there's such inconsistency, resulting in some terrible, terrible episodes as well. While Legends of Tomorrow Season 1 is a very flawed experience overall, there's nevertheless such fun to be found, and a lot of potential which would be realised in following seasons. Yes, this is hampered by certain problematic characters and a plot which impedes things, but with a cracking cast, some hilarious moments and genuinely elating episodes, there's a lot to check out and much to stay tuned for. Overall rating, 7 out of 10. Please let me know what you guys thought of Legends of Tomorrow Season 1. Please comment, please click like and subscribe. Next episode, I'll be reviewing The Flash Season 3. See you next time.